Hughie Fury defeats Dan Garber via 5th round stoppage. And yes, Hughie Fury did exactly what he should have done there. Got a 5th round stoppage. Fair play to Dan Garber for getting in there. But levels were shown in that fight in the end. Yeah, look, Hughie Fury, it was revealed at the end that he had a hand injury throughout the fight. Peter Fury said they didn't want to let Dan Garber down as he is a fellow mate of theirs and former sparring partner. So they wanted to give him a fight, and that's what they did in the end. So fair play to Hughie Fury for still getting in there with an injury. He got the job done, though, and that is the most important thing. I mean, look, you could tell throughout the whole fight that Hughie Fury very clearly had a hand injury and that his backhand was gone the whole fight. And, that is why he started the fight off southpaw. And, yeah, his hand injury was clear to see. And that is why, Hughie Fury was pulling back on his shots quite a lot. And it is a shame that Hughie Fury is injured because, I mean, I think that probably is a big thing of what has been keeping Hughie Fury out for so long and why he has been so inactive and why he is fighting lower competition than what he really should be. But look, I do like what GBM are doing overall as a promotion, and I do trust them to get Hughie Fury a big fight next. There has been talk about the Dillian Whyte fight. Let's just get that one done. But overall, how much are these injuries costing Hughie Fury in his career? Obviously, he was meant to have a big fight on Boxer a few years ago against Michael Hunter. That didn't end up happening. And, we'd be meaning to see him come back, but it hasn't ended up happening. And I believe that is because of injuries for Hughie Fury holding his career back. He is only 30 years old. He's still got quite a bit of time left to go. It's not like he's 35 and picking up injuries. But I feel like that is something that has held Hughie Fury back a bit in his career, and that's his injuries, that is inactivity. And I feel like it is showing. I mean, although, his hand injury was clear to see in that fight, just in general, I feel like he's much slower. I don't think his feints are as effective as they were. I feel like, I don't think his style is as good and as jittery as it was a few years back, when he was fighting guys like Alexander Povetkin, when he was fighting guys like Joseph Parker. He just doesn't seem as jittery as he was, in his 20s. That's the thing. But look, I do think Hughie Fury did what he had to do coming into the fight injured, and I feel like it was good for him to get rounds in there. 100% it was. And in the summer, we need to see a big fight for him. But who knows how long he might be out now because of his hand injury, or what if there's something else that then comes about. Like, I just can't really trust what we are going to see from Hughie Fury this year with the injuries and all that. I mean, he said he wants to get back in the big fights. He says that, in the build up to this one, he said he wanted Anthony Joshua. Then we were hearing a possible Dillian Whyte fight. So that could be interesting to see what happens with Hughie Fury. Apparently with Dan Garber, he's just wanting to, try and get in there with some big fights. He's been in there with some big names. He's been in there with Moser the Talma. He's been in there with Vidal Riley. He's been in there with Hughie Fury and more. Probably I think he just needs to try and, keep on taking as many big fights as he can. He's 39 now. So, he probably hasn't got loads left. But for him, he's being able to get these big paydays. Good luck to him and what he's doing in the rest of his career, of course, for however long he's got left, because he's been able to get some of these big fights. He's been able to get onto some big stages. And, just like today, he was able to give Hughie Fury some rounds, some important rounds as well. But, did Hughie Fury really need to fight tonight with a broken hand? No, he didn't, to be honest. But I mean, in a way, he probably did, because we need to see him back. We need to see him back. But I don't even think he needed a warm-up fight like Dan Garber. I feel like we at this point just chuck him into those big fights anyway. And it might have not been best because he's got this hand injury. Now he's probably going to be out for longer and it hasn't even got time to heal. So that is also something. And that means, a big fight for Hughie Fury could be pushed back even longer and even further away. Then at another point, if he's out for too long, he'll have to have another warm-up fight before we see a big fight. I just don't trust what we're going to see from Hughie Fury. And that's a frustrating thing. And that is a frustrating thing for his career. But Look, him versus Dillian Whyte, I think, is an intriguing fight. I mean, I was originally thinking, oh, if he's fighting like this against Dillian Whyte, then he's got no chance. But thinking back, oh, he's got a hand injury. All right, okay, fair enough. And he did show some decent defensive skills as well. I feel like a good thing about Hughie Fury, and it did show in this fight today against Dan Garber, is his reflexes. You know, they are there to be seen. But I don't think he's as fast. It's weird because, you know, he's only 30 years old. But it's inactivity. That's the thing which is costing him, and that is why he is looking slower and generally is a slower and, you know, is looking to be a slower paced fighter now. In my opinion, that's just what I'm seeing from him. And it was slow paced today, but again, it was because of his hand injury. But again, his footwork wasn't anything amazingly special. But yeah, look, his body works very good, Hughie Fury. He's very good at breaking you down to the body. And Dan Garber very clearly did not like the body shots off Hughie Fury at all. That was very clear to see throughout the whole fight. It was only a matter of time till Hughie Fury was going to get him out of there. I really like what we were seeing from Hughie Fury with the body work. And to be fair, you know, Dave Allen was saying it on commentary as well. You know, Hughie Fury is good at, you know, throwing punches from, you know, awkward angles, and that did show in that fight. And, you know, fair play to Hughie Fury for still showing some good volume, even though his hand was busted in that fight. But yeah, anyway, there we go. Thank you all for watching. Speak to you on the next.